Q&Aയുടെ പുതിയൊരു അധ്യായത്തിലേക്ക് ഏവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. Observe the figure of a part of brain and answer the questions. In this figure, two parts are indicated. One is X and the second one is Y. And the first question, identify the parts indicated X and Y. And the second question, what are the functions of X and Y? Now we can analyze the answer of this question. The first part, that is the part indicated X is skull and the part Y indicated is meninges. We know meninges have 3 layers and Y denote meninges. The second question, functions of X and Y. The skull and meninges protect the brain. So the functions of X and Y are protect the brain. Particularly, the brain is protected inside the skull. The brain is covered and protected by meninges. Second question, the brain contains a fluid which is formed from and reabsorbed into the blood. A. Identify the fluid, and B. Which are the functions of that fluid. Here we know the fluid which is formed from blood and reabsorbed into the blood that is present in the brain is cerebrospinal fluid. And the major functions of cerebrospinal fluid are provide oxygen and nutrients to the tissues of the brain, regulate the pressure inside the brain, protect the brain from injuries. Next question. Box A and B contains the parts of the brain and related informations respectively. Analyze the informations in the boxes and complete the table as per the model cited. Here the box A consists of the parts and B consists of its peculiarities. And the table consists of 3 columns, part, location and function. And here a sample is given, hypothalamus, and it is situated just below the thalamus and its function is to maintain homeostasis. Then complete the remaining parts. The next part is given in the table is thalamus. Thalamus is situated below the cerebrum and its function acts as a relay station of impulses. The next part, cerebellum. Cerebellum is situated behind the cerebrum and its function maintains equilibrium of the body. The third part given in the box A, medulla oblongata, and its location located near the cerebellum as a rod-shaped structure. Function controls involuntary actions. Next question. Mohan lost his memory and was partially paralyzed after he met with an accident. The first question, A. Which part of Mohan's brain was affected? B. How is the brain protected? We know here the person, Mohan, lost his memory. The part which controls memory is cerebrum. So the answer of first part is cerebrum. Protection of brain. We know brain is protected by the skull, meninges and cerebrospinal fluid. That is, the brain is protected inside the skull. It is covered by the meninges, which is a 3-layered membrane, and cerebrospinal fluid, which is formed from blood and it is reabsorbed into the blood, is filled within the inner membrane of meninges and the ventricles of the brain. And this is the protection of brain. Next question. Some parts of the central nervous system is given in the box. Arrange them suitably in the box provided. Here the parts given are central canal, cerebrum, thalamus, hypothalamus, meninges and medulla oblongata. So if you analyze the table, the first statement, part which controls involuntary actions, and the answer is medulla oblongata. Second one, part which contain cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid is present in the meninges, cerebral ventricle, so cerebrum, and central canal of spinal cord. So here 3 answers, meninges, cerebrum and central canal. Third question, part which act as a relay station of impulse. Answer, thalamus. Fourth one, largest part of the brain. Answer, cerebrum. Fifth one, part which maintains homeostasis. Answer, hypothalamus. Sixth one, part which protects brain. The answer is meninges. Next question. Draw the diagram and label the following parts. Here, the diagram of brain is given. And the first question, the part that helps in the maintenance of homeostasis. Second one, the part that acts as a relay station of impulses to and from the cerebrum. C part, the second largest part of the brain. Now, we can redraw the diagram neatly and label the following parts, and the answer of A, the part which helps in the maintenance of homeostasis, is hypothalamus. And the second one, the part that acts as a relay station of impulse, and the answer is thalamus. We know thalamus is above the hypothalamus. And the third part, the second largest part of the brain. The second largest part of the brain is cerebrum. Next question. The following table includes the part of brain and their functions. Identify the correct pair from them. So the box consists of two parts. First part is parts of brain and second one their functions. And the parts given cerebrum, thalamus, cerebellum, medulla oblongata. Analyze this table and find the correct sequence. Yes, here the correct option is D. That is, cerebrum controls sensory experiences. Thalamus is the relay station of impulse. Cerebellum maintains body equilibrium. Medulla oblongata regulate heartbeat. So the correct option is D. Next question. Observe the figure and answer the questions. Here the questions given are A. Identify the figure. B. How was this part protected? And C. What are the functions of the part indicated? Here the figure indicates the cross section of spinal cord. Then the second question, how was this part protected? We know the spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column, meninges and cerebrospinal fluid. C question, what are the functions of the part indicated? Here the part indicated is spinal cord and the major functions of spinal cord are impulses from different parts of the body are transmitted to and from the brain through the spinal cord. It also coordinates the repeated movements during walking, running, etc. Next question. Complete the following illustration. Here the illustration shows spinal cord and different parts and components are given, and here three options A, B and C. If we analyze the illustration, here the option A, which is related with the cerebrospinal fluid. We know cerebrospinal fluid is present in the central canal of spinal cord. So the answer is central canal. Then B, which is related with the dorsal root, and here the next part C is related with the motor impulse. So we can identify the dorsal root is associated with the sensory impulse. The answer B is sensory impulses. And the answer C, that is the part of the spinal cord through which motor impulses travels, and that part is ventral root. The answer C is ventral root. Here the option A, central canal, B, sensory impulses, and C, ventral root. Next question. The dorsal root and the ventral root play a significant role in the transmission of impulses between the spinal cord and different parts of the body. Do you agree with this statement? Justify. Here the statement is correct. So agree with this statement because the dorsal root and ventral root join to form a spinal nerve. The spinal nerve carries sensory and motor impulses. Here sensory impulses reaches the spinal cord through the dorsal root and motor impulses go out of the spinal cord through the ventral root. Since it carries both sensory and motor impulses, all spinal nerves are mixed nerves. Next question. Observe the illustration depending on the direction of impulse and answer the question. Here a nerve is indicated X and the three parts are given eye, brain and muscles in the leg. The first question, which nerve is labeled as X? And the second part, the nerve from the spinal cord which reaches the muscle in the leg is mixed, give reason. Now we can analyze the first question. Which nerve is labeled as S? Here the impulse travels from the sense organ eye to brain. We know the nerve which carry impulses from sense organs to brain are sensory nerve. So the answer is sensory nerve. Second question, the nerve from the spinal cord which reaches the muscle in the leg is mixed, give answer. Here the answer is analyzed in the previous question. We know the spinal nerve carries impulses to and from the spinal cord, and a spinal nerve is formed by joining the dorsal root and ventral root. So, sensory impulses reaches the spinal cord through the dorsal root, motor impulses goes out of the spinal cord through the ventral root. Since it carries impulses in both directions, all spinal nerves are mixed nerve. So, here the nerve which reaches from the spinal cord to the leg muscle is mixed. Next question. Analyze the table and arrange the parts according to the features. Here the table consists of two parts, part and features. Here the parts are white matter, central canal, dorsal root, grey matter. And the features, sensory impulse reaches the spinal cord, nerve parts without myelin sheath are seen, nerve parts with myelin sheath are seen, carry cerebrospinal fluid. Now we can rearrange the table. First part is white matter. The choice for white matter is nerve part with the myelin sheath are seen. Central canal carries cerebrospinal fluid. Dorsal root, sensory impulses reaches the spinal cord. Grey matter, nerve parts without myelin sheath are seen. Next question. The spinal nerves are made up of definite dorsal and ventral roots. Then the ventral root is made up of First option with the sensory nerve fibers, B with the motor nerve fibers, C with the sensory and motor nerve fibers, and D none of this. We know the ventral root which carry impulses from spinal cord to different part of the body. So it is made up of motor nerve fibers. So the correct option is B. Next question. Observe the picture and answer the following. Here the picture of spinal cord is given and a part is labeled as A. The first question, identify A. Second part, which are the peculiarities of the impulse which are transmitted through the dorsal root and ventral root. Here the part indicated A is central canal. We know dorsal root carries sensory impulses and ventral root carry motor impulses. Next question. Here Balu says, in the spinal cord and cerebrum, white matter is seen outside and grey matter is seen inside. Ramu said, in the cerebrum, the grey matter is seen outside and white matter is seen inside. But in the spinal cord, the white matter is seen outside and the grey matter is seen inside. In the group discussion related to the nervous system, Balu and Ramu said so. So the first question, whose opinion do you agree with? Second part, explain white matter and grey matter. Here the answer, the opinion of Ramu is correct. That is, in the cerebrum, the grey matter is seen outside and white matter is seen inside. But in the spinal cord, the white matter is seen outside and grey matter is seen inside. Then, what is white matter and grey matter? You know, the part of the brain and spinal cord where myelinated nerve cells are present in abundance is called white matter. And the part where non-myelinated nerve cells are present is called grey matter. It is already discussed in the previous part. Next question. Answer the following questions. Here A indicates blood, B indicates cerebrospinal fluid. Then the first question, what is the relationship between A and B? And the second part, where does A seen in the central nervous system? We know the relationship between A and B. Here B is cerebrospinal fluid and that cerebrospinal fluid is formed from the blood and is reabsorbed into the blood. Where is cerebrospinal fluid present in the central nervous system? We know central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. In the brain and spinal cord, the cerebrospinal fluid is present in the meninges, cerebral ventricle and central canal in the spinal cord. The last question of this episode, redraw the diagram and label the parts indicated. It is an important question. Here the diagram of spinal cord is given and the part is labeled as A, B, C, D and E. Here the part A indicates grey matter. B indicates white matter, C is central canal, D ventral root and E dorsal root. We discussed the peculiarities and functions of this part. In the examination, the functions or peculiarities of these parts are given and we identify these parts from the features given in the question paper. So it is an important question in the examination point of view. ഈ അധ്യായത്തിലെ ബാക്കി ഭാഗം അടുത്ത എപ്പിസോഡിൽ നമുക്ക് ചർച്ച ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്.